Most architects think they have a technology problem, but that's not why they're stuck. The real reason isn't the real reason that they are not in those meetings or those executive meetings isn't skill, experience, or certification. It's influence. And until that changes, you'll keep building solutions for decisions that we're never invited to make. I'm Sal Cosentino. CEO, architect, trainer. I used to believe architecture was about technology, better systems, better designs, better frameworks. That's what would get me noticed, and that's what I thought would get me noticed. But something strange kept happening. I would design the solution, but someone else would make the decision. I was always involved, but never in the room where it mattered. And when I was just there. Then I noticed something. The people in executive meetings in these meetings weren't always the most technical. And if they were, they'd bring in somebody with that expertise. They're the ones who could translate technology into cost, translate technology into risk, translate technology into business impact. That changed everything for me. We call that relatable transformation. Most architects are trained to think like builders. Well, the ones that I know. But executives don't buy architecture. Remember, they buy reduced risk, they buy faster delivery, they buy lower cost, higher revenue impact. So what happens? As an architect, you stay in you stay stuck in a cycle where designing solutions no one fully approves, being called too late in decisions, getting feedback after direction is already set, right? And the worst part, they think it's normal. And that right there builds frustration. They buy, you stay stuck in a cycle, right? And that's again because you're designing solutions that no one fully approves. The moment everything changed for me was this. And this is where the identity broke for me. I stopped asking what's the best technical solution and started asking what decision is this influencing? Because once you shift from a architect with a technical architect to a decision making architect, everything changes. You stop being an implementer and you start becoming a strategic voice in that business. There are three shifts that separate an architect that's technical from a senior level executive or stakeholder architect. And this is where your framework is revealed. We look at the language shift. Okay? You stop speaking in systems. You start speaking in outcomes. Simple. Two, talk about decision and framing around the decision, or decision framing. Don't present solutions. Present the choices that are executives can decide on. And because executives don't want answers, they want clarity. And clarity makes decisions. Position and influence positioning. Show up before the decision is made, not as a support staff, but as an advisor that's strategic. Simple. And last but not least, well, second last but not least is if you're tired of being that person, or sorry, that's exactly why I created this framework and training system. Like the executive blueprint is shared amongst everybody in the world. And there are many professionals who are out there that are architects that show you how to get invited earlier into decisions, right? And this is what I want to show you because it works. And this is called your transformation vehicle, right? Transformation vehicle. What do I mean, Sal? You know, influence those $1 million conversations, right? Position yourself at that executive level. This is not about learning more technology. It's about learning how to be seen differently. If you're tired of being that person who builds decisions others make, and you want to start being that person who influences those decisions, contact, send a message with the word decision in the comments below because architecture isn't your problem. Visibility and influence are. And that's fixable.